Hey guys, it's Eric with Painting Business Pro, and in this video I want to talk to you about the 5 skills that you really need to master to build a wildly successful painting company, because there really are only 5 things, and it's really easy to get trapped up in the day-to-day and the nuances and reacting to everything that's going on in your business. But it's important to keep the big picture focused on what you need to get really good at in order to build a really successful painting company. So the first thing is you've got to get really good at marketing. All right, and marketing is 2 things. One is understanding the principles behind marketing so that you can keep discovering and keep figuring out new ways to market your business and generate customers. And what it really comes down to is how much money do I spend and how much work do I get? And that's marketing. And so you can spend money on 100 different things for marketing, and you spend the money and then you see how much work you get back, and if the percentage is good, you're good to go. And so what we typically aim for in our company is under 10%. So if I spend $100, I want to get at least $1,000 back. Ideally, I want to get more than that. Our best marketing sources are 3 to 4%, and our worst ones are closer to 10. All right, so you need to master marketing. And once you've tested all this stuff and you find what works, then you want to systemize it and do it forever ongoing. Because when you find something that works for marketing, that means when you spend this money, you get more money back. And so if you ever stop spending money on something that's working, then money stops coming back too, and you just make less money. So once you find a strategy that works, you want to double down on as much as you can. And in our Painting Business Pro course, which you can check out the link below, we go through the 4 marketing strategies that have helped us generate over $5 million in business in just 2017. All right, so the next thing you need to master is sales. All right, so sales is about taking a potential customer and turning them into a paying customer. And how you know you've gotten really good at sales is when you can sell 50% of your estimates, and the price you give, anybody can sell 50% if you just give them the lowest price. That's cheating though, and you can't build a great business by being the lowest price because you have no margin to build a business. So you need to be able to sell 50% of your estimates. You don't need to. We've built our business on 35% sales rates, but if you get really good at sales, you should be able to sell 50% of your estimates, and the price you give should allow you to pay 50% to your subcontractors or 50% to your employees plus your materials. So the point is the cost of the labor and materials of the job needs to be 50%. So if it's going to cost you $1,500 to paint this house, you need to price it at $3,000, and at that price point, you should be able to sell 50% of your estimates. Now, if you can do that, that's great, but you need to be able to systemize this so that when you build your team, which we're going to get to, you actually have a system to teach your salespeople so that they can produce the same results you're producing. If your results are not reproducible, not replicatable, and not scalable, then you haven't finished building the foundation of the business, and that you haven't mastered that skill. So when you master sales, you need to be able to systemize that and document so you can deliver it to your team in the future. And again, in our Painting Business Pro course, we have an entire proven, super effective sales system already outlined that's been created over the last 13 years. So we've already put in the work, and you can check that out there. The third skill you've got to learn is production. And production is, once a customer has signed a contract, how you communicate with that customer leading up to the job, how you hire and manage your subcontractors or your employees, and how you manage the scheduling, and then how you manage the quality being delivered and the customer having a good experience. So that again also needs to be a system, because you might be able to handle 3 jobs a week without a system. But when you bring on a production manager and they're overseeing 10 or 15 jobs a week, if you don't have a system, that is going to be absolute chaos, and that will become the bottleneck to growing and building your business, not to mention all the bad reviews you're going to get because it's chaotic and a mess. And so you need to figure out, how do I deliver for a customer? So take one job and figure out exactly what you would do to make sure that one job goes perfectly. Write down every single step along the way, and that becomes your system that you follow, whether you're doing 1 job a week or 15 jobs a week. And again, our exact system for how we produce over $5 million in business in 2017, the exact production system, is also in our course. Now, the next thing is team building, okay? So at some point, you're going to be doing these 3 things yourself, and you're going to be able to build a great business. You know, you'll be able to build a $300,000 to $500,000 a year business that brings in 6 figures. And you can do that without ever building a team. But if you ever want to have $1 million, multi-million dollar company, or you ever want to get to the point where you can work part-time while still making a really great income, you have to be able to build a team. And this, I gotta say, is going to be the hardest skill that you will have to learn in building this business. Building teams is tremendously hard, and there's a lot of reasons for that, which we're not going to get into in this video. But you need to learn how to build a team, which includes 3 things. It includes hiring and recruiting. So how do you not only select great candidates for your company and know that you're hiring great people and the best people, but how do you entice the best people to want to work for you? Because if you're not an amazing employer and you don't provide an amazing opportunity and you're not really organized providing an amazing job, you're not going to get amazing people. And if you don't get amazing people, the next part of this team building system is going to be really, really hard, which is training. So if you hire amazing people, training is that much easier too. And so then you need to learn how to train people effectively. And training people effectively is not easy. We're not going to get into that video either, but you do need to learn how to effectively train people to be able to produce the same results you're able to produce. And that's why going back to systemizing these is so important. If you don't have a system for those, training is going to be tremendously hard. All right, so then the third thing is once you've got the great people hired and you've got them trained, then you need to be a great boss and you need to know how to manage people. And when people are performing and they're producing results, managing people is really easy. We're just high-fiving them and cheering them on. The challenge is when people aren't producing results. And when someone in sales who's getting paid largely on commission is not producing results and they get demotivated, it's your job to not only be able to keep them motivated, but you also need to be able to figure out why they're not selling and help them start selling. And you can't do it over 6 weeks because they'll quit in 6 weeks. 6 bad weeks is enough to get a salesperson to leave. You've got to be able to produce results with velocity. All right, so that's not an easy thing to do either. And not only that, but there's going to be breakdowns and problems that happen, right? There's always going to be that. People don't show up to work, or they do this, or someone gets upset about something, or they don't book a job and they start blaming your prices or something. You need to know how to navigate those conversations so that every breakdown you have in an employee is an opportunity to strengthen the relationship rather than create more separation. Because when those breakdowns happen, it creates separation. That's going to lead to them leaving and you having to start the whole process over again. So you need to learn how to build teams. Our hiring systems, our training systems, and our management systems are all included, again, in our PVP growth course, which you can find in the link below. Now, the last thing that you need to master to build a successful painting company is you need to be able to master operations. What that means is you need to be able to master operations, which is managing the numbers, managing the marketing goals, the sales goals, the production goals, and being able to manage all of the numbers in the business, which is also included in our program. And we have an Excel file, and we have some documents that we use to align our financial budgets, our marketing budgets, our sales budgets, our production targets, so that all of those things are aligned. But mapping it out is just the first step. Mapping it out is step 1. Step 2 is being able to stay the course. And that's a whole other thing where you need to actually be looking at your numbers on a weekly basis and seeing, hey, am I where I'm supposed to be? And if I'm not, what do I need to do to get to where I need to be? And I can tell you that you can't manage a big business like that if you're doing the day-to-day running of the business. You need to run the business, not be run by the business. And that's a whole other set of skills. One thing we didn't talk about here is time management, goal setting, and just managing your personal schedule effectively. But we've got a whole other video that you can check out about that. Check out the 4 rules of time management on our channel. There's 4 rules of time management. There's a goal setting video, and there's one other video on productivity and some time management advice. So I would check that out as well. And if you're really interested in mastering these skills, you can do it on your own, or I would really recommend taking a look at our Painting Business Pro program, which is going to shortcut all this stuff for you. We've been doing it for 13 years. We've trained thousands of people how to do this. We're really good at it. But the bottom line is building this business can be simple. Keep it simple. And I hope you found this video helpful. And if you have any questions, please comment below. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. And we got a bunch more good stuff coming for you. So I hope you liked it. Talk to you soon.